Okay, so now that the Ultra Lead is out, I tested a similar team to my Great League team that was Wigglytuff, Mawile, and Mr. Mime, which are all fairy types, and it worked out pretty well for the most part. I want to say outside of the cluster F that was kind of my rank 4, where I pretty much just lost 20 straight or something like that. The fairy team really worked out nicely because between all of them, they had a pretty good counter for the top meta Pokemon. So I attempted to kind of recreate the fairy type for Ultra League, which is Togekiss, along Ninetales, and a Granbull. I actually did not know what to fill with my third slot, which is currently the Granbull, until one of my friends recommended Granbull because it has Crunch and Close Combat, which would take care of any of the kind of normal or the Reggie types, since they are super effective to fighting, which works out fantastic. And Crunch would work for any of the psychic types that might appear, but unless I am mistaken, a lot of the top metas are going to be dragons, or some of the ones I have seen is like any of the starters with the community day move. I don't know, I've seen quite a bit of Venusaurs, which can realistically wreck this team, but like my Togekiss has Sky Attack, which, unless I'm mistaken, is super effective against Venusaur, and the lone Ninetales is super effective against Venusaur with Blizzard, or one of the ice types. So overall, this team seems to have a pretty good coverage of Pokemon and good coverage against the top metas. I did only about 20 battles today, and out of the 20, I won 17 and I lost 3. 2 of them were kind of my fault, or simply came down to a luck dependent. And then the third one, I never really got to fight because as soon as the battle started, the game just froze overall. Like, I couldn't attack, switch Pokemon, anything like that. So I ended up having to close the game, and that resulted in a loss. So we are gonna attempt to show off the greatness of this team. Before this whole day started, I was at like 2880 or something like that. And as you can see, I'm out to 2900. So that works out wonderfully. So this is actually one that is an interesting one because I have not seen many Labrases. And here comes the big problem with Steelix, is the fact, with him being Steel type, he is going to be super effective against me because he probably has a Steel type move. and Steel is one of the only other type effectiveness against Fairy that is super effective, so you had to definitely watch out for it. And he probably has a second charge move. Yep. So that was a definitely bad call by me. So we are gonna see if we can shield bait him to make him use that last shield. He did not take it though, so that is unfortunate. But we're gonna do a shield here. Definitely should not have used my shield though, because now I'm gonna shield down, and more than likely that's gonna be a crunch, I believe. I can't imagine he's gonna use Earthquake because it's not effective enough. And that's probably gonna be an Ice Beam, and that's gonna just destroy. I don't know. So that's actually kind of interesting, because I have seen a couple of Steelixes, and they have worked great for Battle League that I've at least seen. I have not seen a Lapras though, so that's a interesting Pokemon to have. And Ninetales, I don't believe was in. Well, actually, no. I think Ninetales might have been top 50. So it's good, but obviously that was kind of poor switching, shielding, kind of all that on my part. So I mean, if I could have optimized it a little more, I could have potentially won that. Definitely not shielding that crunch from Steelix for my Togepi. And I believe I'm fighting him again, aren't I? Now, if it is, then I know he has Surf, which he does. And here comes the bad switch again. No, Surf is probably gonna hurt Granbull quite a bit. Yep. Probably Steelix. Yep. Now this is actually interesting. I don't recall ever fighting against the same person twice in a row. So it's actually kind of interesting to have that happen. Yeah, there's no point in me actually shielding there because what is it? He was almost dead, so it's kind of pointless in order to do that. So we'll kind of see if he shields this. No. It's not a bad call. Now, this would be a KO, and I know the second Pokemon is... Oh no. I know his last Pokemon is Ninetales. So... Well, Shield's here, and he's either dead or gonna be dead. Oh, I guess we did not get that shield off in time. And we're back to this matchup where obviously the Ninetales is gonna win because type advantage. Fire is super effective against ice. There we go. Obviously, I am not doing this team justice in this video. Okay. So we're not fighting against the same person for the third time. Or else I would have been a little concerned because 3 times in a row, that's probably odd. I was gonna say, no, see, there would have been a good matchup because I have Sky Attack on my Togekiss, which would have been super effective against Hariyama. We're not gonna shield it. Yeah. I forgot he has Aura Beam, which is super effective against flying types. And that really was a bad call on my part. Now, mostly spent the 100,000 Stardust and 100 candies. They're just gonna have that Aura Beam. And that's not gonna be a problem for any of my other Pokemon. And he switches back out to Hariyama. Now, close combat was not the best call because it's not going to be effective and it's going to lower my defense. So, bad call on me. Now we'll shield here because, oh yeah, Heavy Slam is Steel type, that's right. So he has 1 shield advantage, but I have 1 Pokemon advantage. Now that was very unfortunate. But most of the Giratinas I've fought have had Dragon Claw. Obviously that stands true, and as you can see, it almost does nothing to Ninetales. And especially for any fairy type, because fairies will typically destroy any dragons. So that was a little better, but it honestly could have gone a little smoother, but we'll take that one. So here's the 4th match. According to the rating, he's 5 points below me, but obviously it doesn't really matter. Now here's a type that starting matchup that I usually see is Togekiss against Giratina. And it's actually odd because I would have figured he would have switched out from that. Because most times most trainers will switch out after that. Or then we'll typically switch out after seeing, Fairy. And they'll be like, well, that's a bad matchup, so we're not going to do it. Now there we got the KO. So right off, we'll just do the Dazzling Gleam. Just to hopefully burn a shield. Which we did. So that works out. So he's a Steel type. We'll switch to Gramble. And hopefully we'll be able to get a charge move off. But this does not look like it's going to be in our favor because steel typing, unfortunately. Now, we get the charge move off, but unless he's not where Granbull has close combat, he's going to shield, which, with good reason, he did. And then we kind of know how this is going to go. Alone Nine Tails ain't going to take a shot, especially from Meteor Mash, which is super effective. Ooh. That's a interesting choice, but it still did quite a bit of damage. Enough for taking care of the job. Alright, so the final one of the 5. We'll see how this plays out. Obviously, these 5 matches have not been the best, to say the least, so hopefully we can end this on a high note. Now, this is an interesting one because I have not seen a Entei before, and that is really interesting because strange that there was a weak connection yet. Oh well. So we're gonna shield this just because that'll allow us to finish off Entei. And obviously we just went down a shield. Now, Torterra is one that I've seen quite a bit. So, not necessarily what we want to do is use Granbull. But it'll do its job. We'll do a shield because it's probably gonna hurt if we didn't. I think that might have been a KO if I did not do such a thing. Now that's an interesting one. We got Weevil. And obviously I did not do the best charge elemental typing because he's dark. Close combat would have been better because fighting will take out dark almost any time. So that's 2 out of 5. Not the greatest showing, but we'll always gain the rewards. Got to charge him. Kind of stayed right there. And I'll just end the video right here.